Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakafadash. The double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of the video is Congress Approved Remote Kill Switches, M.O.T.B. And basically, the whole world is going digital, right? Not elder apostles, right? Told us about this. Basically going back to the beginning, right? And the reason why I say it is that the message hasn't changed regarding what the M.O.T.B is, right? Um, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, uh, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. The scriptures say, with all thy getting, get understanding, right? And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him often, right? And let thy foot wear the steps of his door. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord Yahweh Bashar, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart, which is the mind, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire. Right. And it's true. Definitely true. I remember for a long time, which I still do it now, but I know way more scriptures, than I know before. I could really just quote scriptures a lot, and I couldn't, go to certain scriptures, but I could quote them. But an increase happened, and it was kind of out of nowhere, you know. I would say I was starting, I was watching GMS, Great Millstone a lot more, or wherever the case may be. But, like I said, for a long time, I could just quote scriptures, but now, I can go to more scriptures than I could before. And I noticed that. And it was kind of like me, like, it was like nothing that I did, it's the same thing I've been doing, studying scripture, this, that, and the third, but I could go to scriptures more than I did before. So, and I seen that, and I gave, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai, the water Yahweh Bashem Shai, and all of that, because I definitely seen that, you know. So, yeah, he will establish your heart, and give you wisdom, because the wisdom is the word, right? If any man speak, let him speak of the oracles of Yahweh Bashem Shai, right? And that's the word, all right. Um, Yeah, so the message hasn't changed, from the elder apostles on down, from their elders. Well, Elder Apostle Hart is the one, I believe, uh, that gave the understanding of what the micro hit was. I don't believe his elders went into it, right? And it's clear as day, right, what it is. Me see what this is over here. 6, right. What I want to grab from here is 2 6 and 20. It says, and when the world that shall hear from up here, hear from 18, 2nd Ezra 6 and 18, it said, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled. Right. And we know Lamentations 4 is taking place right now. The cup is being turned to these devils. They're drinking, right? Their shame is upon them. Lamentations 4 and 21, it says, rejoice and be glad, O Lord of freedom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. And pursuant to Isaiah 47, right, Habakkuk 2, 15 and 16, this devil is being made bare, right? Shameless feeling is being put on his world, and he's fully exposed and naked. The world sees him for what he is, a satanic devil that practice witchcraft and sorceries, the vampires, uh, ritual sacrifices, and all of these wicked, abominable atrocities that these devils are doing. The whole world knows about it. Whether it's like rumors, people, I don't know if they actually did it, but all the truth is there. So everyone's talking about it, all over the place. It says the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O Lord of Zion, who will no more carry away into captivity. So here's the point. We're not going to captivity again. Whatever this current administration, which was forwarded by these Amalekites over in the land of Israel, that's who's running the government here. They see the walls crumbling, right? And they want to do something about it, but they can't. The scripture says there is no healing of that bruise. The wound is too grievous, right? America cannot be repaired. 250 years, roughly is how long the kingdom lasts, and America's, been using borrowed time. All right, and it's over for her. Okay, this whore. Lamentations 4:22. It says, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins." Yeah, so Edom, the Edomites, these devils are being exposed fully, right? They're being uncovered fully for all the atrocities, right? Going back over here. So second Ezra 6:10, it said, "Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt justly with unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away." That's why Yahweh shall say he's coming to set fire to the earth, and he wish it was already burning, right, to the world. He wish it was already burning, and it is burning. People, everyone, it's all around the world. People are saying it. The dying empire, right? People are shifting their money away from this place. No one's a tourist is not trying to visit this place. Even people that's leaving, and then they got to fly back to America is worried about, is ICE gonna allow me in? All type of craziness. So, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, which is the prophecies, right? The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And that's the point. We see it clear as day. What's happening. He's showing the signs now that the prophecies are speaking, right? They're no longer carrying. Habakkuk 2 and 1, right? It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower," right? And that's the job of what? The watchman, the prophets, the elect, right? We're on our watch, right? And we're given the correct answer, It says, let me see what they say in the NLT real quick. NLT says, "I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There will I wait to see what the Lord says and how he will answer my complaint." Okay? Because Habakkuk 1, Habakkuk is asking the Lord, how long shall he cry? Habakkuk 1:1, it says, "The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Lord Yahweh, watching our shy, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save." All right. So he's asking, what's up with these heathen? All right. So you get a 2. It says, "Yahweh answers the prophet." Habakkuk 2:1, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." And that's a good thing, because going to this chapter right here, it explains that this devil is gonna accumulate some debt, right? And ultimately he's gonna go out and take other people's land, and people rise up and say how long, right? And shameful feelings is gonna be put on this devil, right? So it says, don't worry, basically. You can trust me, it's all gonna happen. It says Habakkuk 2:2, says, "And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." So the correct message has been passed down, right? And every day, which is clear as day now, but every day it gets clearer, right? That's why the elder apostle John always says a lot that that chip is going to be the reckoning, reckoning for a lot of these camps because everyone's talking about it and they're just denying it, right? M.O.T. says, then the Lord Yahweh Bashar said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so a runner can carry the correct message to others. So that's what we're doing. We're carrying the correct message of what the M.O.T.B is. It says for the vision, which goes into the tokens, the prophecies, right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? And a lot of times the prophets receive different visions, you know, which was future prophecies. It says for the vision is yet for an appointed time that the end shall speak and not lie. So it's certain. The interpretation thereof, sure. Like as it says in Daniel, for the vision is yet for an appointed time that the end shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right. And that's exactly where we're at, regarding this seat. It's becoming clear every day to, individuals. So I got this video here. Congress approved remote kill switches in every new car your deed is met. And it goes into basically the coming digital society, the fact that it can shut down your car and ultimately, eventually, how he goes into it, shut down, your rights to your house and all of that. So let's check it out. But all this leads to the M.O.T.B, right? All roads lead to the M.O.T.B. This is these devils' master plan. They think this is the one thing that's going to save them from all their troubles. All their plans, are leading to this M.O.T.B moment, which they have other little plans that they want established, like the situation with Israel. That's why the scriptures say, at least the flock shall draw out America to war. Because that's like a side project that's really fucking them up. Worried about Iran and Syria and Iraq, Afghanistan, all of that stuff. So anyway, let's check this video out.
I know you think your car belongs to you. I mean, you bought it. You waxed it. You named it Betsy or the Beast or.
This is the video. Well, you see it right there. You see it.
Please don't break down again. But as of right now, federal law says otherwise. Because on January 22nd, 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives voted 268 to 164 to keep funding a federal mandate that requires every new car sold in America starting in 2026 to include technology that monitors your eyes, your breath, your lane position, and can shut your vehicle down if an algorithm decides you're impaired. No cop, no.
And I mean, it sounds like a camera. I drive trucks, and I know in my truck they got a camera, and they use it for insurance, whatever the case may be. Just in case an accident happened, right? But it sounds like what they want when he said technology would be a camera. That's one thing that could properly monitor you, while you're inside the vehicle, and then also monitoring the lane if you're departing out of your lane and things like that. They have those features, lane departure warnings and things like that. When you go over the lines on the road, the car makes some type of sounds, whatever the case may be. So now it's getting to the point if these things are happening, they can shut down the vehicle. But that really won't work because accidents happen. People could be doing whatever the case may be, and that's why they might probably try to put a camera in there, right? And that's where the world is headed. Where they want total control. They want to watch you, and they don't like you. They basically want to get rid of you and make your life live in hell, whatever the case may be. And that's how they're trying to get power. I've seen a few clips regarding the Super Bowl ads that they did, and one of them was regarding the Ring cameras. So on the reverse side, I believe, I don't know if it's for sure or whatnot, but the cameras is also fucking them. That's why now you're not allowed to record ICE, and things like that. They don't want ICE having body cams because the things that they're doing is illegal, right? They don't want the public too much to see that. So with all the random cameras and things, once they start going door to door to door and all that, that's all going to be on camera, and it's going to easily be uploaded to, the internet and things like that. And that's probably something they don't want because in that Super Bowl ad, they made it seem like, oh, they're going to be using the ring cameras to capture people when they already know where the people are at. They already showed it that they have lists of individuals where they are, different things. They have Palantria, right? I remember when it was talking to some generals and the 12 generals that they killed simultaneously at the same time. Saying things like, I see you sitting down on your couch right now, eating, da, 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 da. So they already got all the technology to already look at you. They don't need the ring camera, but they don't want you to have cameras. They don't want you to record the situation because they're divided in these courts. All right, they're still a red and blue. They're still a Democratic and Republican Party, and they're fighting. And Trump is trying to remain in office, but there's still tension and friction between these people. And a lot of the cameras are showing the evidence of what's happening. The world is seeing that. So far, every murder that they did so far regarding ICE, is on camera. And it all shows that they're wicked. It shows that they're in the wrong. So they wouldn't want that. But they wouldn't mind putting a camera in your face inside the car, I guess. But how they do it, we'll see. They're not going to accomplish this at all. Job 20 tells us that when they're about to fill the right? The Most High, roughly paraphrase, is going to stop them, rain fire on them. So let me continue this.
Breathalyzer, no human review. Representative Thomas Lane position, and can shut your vehicle down if an algorithm decides you're impaired. No.
Yeah, I was going to say also is that they had the same facial recognition over there in the West Bank, I believe, over there in Israel, where the case they got no separated between the wall, right? They're tracking those individuals with cameras and facial recognition and things like that. And if you look upset, they come in to check about you, and other times when people could wake up on the wrong side of the bed, women on their period, whatever the case may be, you just be upset. And they're gonna come over there and harass you because you look upset like you might be a threat or something. So shit, brothers, do a lot, be working. Some brothers might have to stay over at work, whatever the case may be, go to camp, which is a beautiful thing, of course, and trying to power all those things up. And then, have to get back up and look sleepy as hell, but you manageable, but you might be a little sleepy, and now the algorithm is like, nah, I don't know, you might be under the influence and just stops the vehicle. So it's a bad system, primitive system. Like I like to say, this is like test one, regarding M.O.T.B, them putting in and tracking and all of that. But they won't even, get to alpha and the next. They got the iPhone 1, 2, 3, and 4. They only gonna have the micro C hit 1. All right, they ain't gonna get no further than that.
Cop, no breathalyzer, no human review. Representative Thomas Massey tried to defund it. He lost by over 100 votes. So your car, your private property, now comes with a government-mandated off switch. And what nobody's connecting is that the legal and technical infrastructure to do the exact same thing to your home already exists. Because what's happening right now across 3 different areas of law tells you exactly where this is heading, and the momentum is building. Let me show you the receipts. Section 24220 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, signed November 2021, mandates that every new vehicle must include advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology that can passively monitor the performance of a driver and prevent or limit vehicle operation if an impairment is detected. Passively monitor. Prevent operation detected by an algorithm. And the law contains 0 mandated appeals process, no reset timeline, no human review mechanism. If the system flags you, even falsely, there is no specified procedure to override it. Wayne Cruz from the Competitive Enterprise Institute called this exactly the kind of overreach that will give regulatory bodies the power to control behavior without input from elected officials. Critics are calling it kill switch jail. Your private property, government-installed off switch, answers to no one. And if you think this stops at the garage door, let me introduce you to civil asset forfeiture.
What did the WF say? You will own nothing and be happy. That's what it's headed to.
According to the Institute for Justice, 87% of all government asset seizures in the United States are civil forfeitures, meaning the property is taken without criminal charges ever being filed. No charges, no trial, no conviction. They don't charge you. They charge the property. I'm not joking. The court cases, they read like this: United States versus 2015 Chevrolet Tahoe. United States versus $12,000 in US currency. They sue the inanimate object. And because the inanimate object has no rights, you, the owner, have to prove it's innocent. In fiscal year 2021, the U.S. Marshal Service was holding $3.38 billion in seized assets. They received 17,269 new assets that year alone. And the median cash forfeiture across 21 states, $1,300. That's the sweet spot, where it costs more to fight it than to lose it, which is exactly what most people do. They lose it. So the government already has established legal mechanisms to seize your car, your cash, and your home.
All right, let me grab that. Isaiah 10. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. This is what these devils do, right? And their policies.
Without proving you committed a crime. The vehicle kill switch just adds a remote control to the existing operation. And that's not a new power, it's a new delivery system. Now let's talk about what they've already done with property. Cities initiate an average of 80 public projects per year using eminent domain to take private property. And since the Supreme Court's Kelo versus New London decision in 2005, the government can take your home and hand it to a private corporation as long as they mumble something about economic development. In Louisiana last year, the Plaquemines Port Authority tried to seize private land through eminent domain, then lease it to Venture Global, a private LNG company, not for public access, for corporate profit. In Ocean Springs, Mississippi, the city designated over 100 homes as slum and blighted without even notifying the owners. That's like your neighbor calling a tow truck on your car while you're inside eating dinner. And the driver just says, hey, I got paperwork. Only 3 states in the entire country have enacted protections against this kind of abuse since Kelo. 3. So we've got a government that can seize your property without a conviction, hand your land to a corporation under the label of public benefit, and just voted to install remote kill switches in your car. And we haven't even got to the digital part yet, because everything I've told you so far is the analog version, the send a guy with a badge version. What happens when it all goes digital? Several states are moving property title records to blockchain systems. Tennessee signed a law in 2018 recognizing legal authority of ownership rights secured through blockchains. Sounds great, right? Modernize the system. Put the deed on the blockchain. Nobody can forge it. Except legal scholars at USC have pointed out a critical problem. Blockchain title systems require government oversight to resolve disputes. Courts would need the power to, and I'm quoting, issue an order directly affecting the transfer of title to the appropriate party on the blockchain. That's a remote override of your property ownership, built into the legal framework of the system that's supposed to protect it. Now, if that sounds like the property version of a vehicle kill switch, congratulations, you're paying attention. And California just showed us how this plays out. AB 1052 passed 78-0, effective January 1st, 2026, allows the state to seize dormant cryptocurrency wallets after 3 years of inactivity. Your digital property seized by the state because...
Yeah, you know what? Things like that, in a world where everything's going to be digital like that, imagine, there's a situation, basically I'm thinking of Titanic, when they wanted to set the Federal Reserve Bank and they killed those individuals that was on that. I was watching a video earlier, how that all played out. It was about 3 men they really wanted that was blocking that Federal Reserve, and they took them out. And they could do the same thing in the digital world where someone's get taken out worth, plenty of money, and after 3 days, guess who that money belongs to now? Them, right? Or 3 months, whatever you said, 3 years.
You didn't use it.
Who knows if they're gonna wait? It's already in the law. They can take it before, and it doesn't matter to them, right?
Often enough. Not one vote against. Bipartisan agreement on theft. It's heartwarming, really. And then there's the infrastructure inside your actual house. Smart thermostats, smart locks, smart cameras. A Bipartisan Policy Center report documented case of baby monitors used for surveillance, thermostats remotely set to dangerous temperatures, and smart door locks set to unlock automatically by external attackers. A Trend Micro report found that access to a single home.
Yeah, look, hey, you'd be stupid to believe that these devils don't have access to all of these different electronic devices, turn it on and off, unlock these mechanisms, and all of this stuff is hackable, right? Or program, because you had to program it to be like that, so it's connected to something. All right, and these devils can get in that. So let me grab this. Matthew 16:1, it said the Pharisees also, the Sadducees, came and tempting, desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. For ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times? Right, and we're definitely headed into that M.O.T.B era, right? And we're already here. Really and truly, it seems like we're just waiting on a black swan event, some type of 911 event. It says a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. So the sign, for everybody out here is the prophets telling you what's about to come, because after that, like a thief in the night, is how everything is going to break out to a lot of you, right? You're still waiting on some type of magical thing to tell you, hey, is Yahweh on the way? Is Yahweh Bashan Shah on the way? Should I prepare now or wait? Because we already know our people, stiff-necked, hard-headed, right? People, solid children. So we already know how y'all thinking for the most part. But that's why the Lord is merciful, and he abundantly pardons, whoever he's going to do that to, right? Which will be the elect. But there's no sign but the prophet telling you that now is the time. Seek the Lord while he may be found, right? Because the day is going to come where all hell breaks loose, and then after that, the Most High is going to be laughing at your fear when it comes upon you, because you had your chance and you didn't do nothing with it. The grace period is now up for you, basically. All right, and this is Revelations 13:16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the name of his name, right? So now they doing laws with seizing digital assets after a certain period of time. Yeah, they're gonna be able to seize your digital assets when you get this micro C here. All right, and all your money is on the digital device inside your body. All right, now you in jail on a small scale. You get locked up for a few, whatever the case may be, and now you didn't do something with your accountant enough time, so we took everything from you. You got to jail. You don't have nothing. Just But hey, just going on that, the Lord willing, you will edify from the lesson. Shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.